Hello everybody. So today we are going to talk about solving for y. Okay, so we have in the past done literal equations where we have an equation that just has a bunch of variables in it. We solved for a given variable. So this equation y equals mx plus b probably looks familiar to you. So we're going to be taking equations and getting them into this form. We're doing this now to prepare for the chapter that we're about to do over linear equations, where this particular equation is going to be very, very important to us. And so we need to know how to get any equation in this form where y equals blank, okay? So our goal today, y equals. We always want, now this mx plus b, I'm always going to want my x, whatever constant is in front of my x variable, that's going to come right after the equal sign. And then the letter b, that constant is going to be last, okay? We're going to put our variables before we put our constant. So write this form down, and then we're going to do 3 examples here to show us how to get an equation in y equals mx plus b, which we're going to call slope-intercept form. So if I take my first equation, which is 4x plus 2y is equal to 8, I want to solve this equation for y. So my goal is to get this letter y all by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is I know I need to move my 4x over. 4x is positive right now, so I do that by subtracting 4x to each side. 4x minus 4x, those are going to cancel. So I am left with 2y equals, okay, now keep in mind what we just said. We always want to put our variables first. So instead of writing 8 minus 4x, I'm going to put the negative 4x first and then plus 8. We want our variables first and then our constants. Now, I'm almost there. Again, my goal is to get y alone. Right now, y is being multiplied by 2, so I need to undo that by dividing each side by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so those cancel, and I'm left with y equals. Now, I could rewrite this negative 4x plus 8 divided by 2 in the following way. I could rewrite that as negative 4x divided by 2 plus 8 divided by 2, because each term, the negative 4x and the 8, are both being divided by 2. Okay, so now if I do negative 4x divided by 2, I get negative 2x. Then when I do 8 divided by 2, I get 4, a positive 4. Now I have my equation in slope-intercept form. I have it solved for y. I have y equals negative 2x plus 4. Okay, when it's written in all together, like it is right here, I just simply want to do the first term divided by 2, and then I have to remember to do the second term divided by 2. If you don't want to write that separate as we did right here in 2 separate terms, you've got to remember, though, to do them separately. Now let's look at our next example, which is 3x minus 4y equals negative 12. Okay, so remember, I want to solve for y. I need to get y alone. The first thing I'm going to want to do is to subtract my 3x to both sides. Positive 3x, so I subtract. Now, I'm left with a negative 4y here. Okay, you cannot forget that subtraction sign. So I have negative 4y equals, now which one am I going to write first? The negative 3x minus 12. Variables before constant. Now, to solve for y, I need to get rid of this negative 4. So I'm going to divide each side by negative 4. Those cancel. So I get y equals. Now keep in mind, we could separate this. I could write my negative 3x divided by my negative 4 and my negative 12 divided by negative 4. If that helps you, you can write them separately. If not, I can just do them individually like they are written right here. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, so I have positive 3/4 x. Now I need to do my second term. I have negative 12, that minus 12 is negative 12, divided by a negative 4. That gives me a positive 3. So that would be my equation solved for y. Y equals 3/4 x plus 3. Last example. Here I have 1/2 x plus 5y equals 5. My goal, get this y all alone. What do I need to do first? Subtract my 1/2 x. Then I'm left with 5y, because these things canceled. 5y equals, always want to put my x term first, negative 1/2 x, and that's a positive 5, so plus 5. Now I need to divide each side by 5. Those cancel, so now I have y equals. If I rewrite those separately, I have negative 1/2 divided by negative 1/2 x divided by 5, and then I have plus 5 over 5. Okay, negative 1/2 divided by 5. Remember, I can write this 5 as like 5 over 1 if I wanted to. Okay, so I have negative 1/2 x divided by 5 over 1. That is the same thing as negative 1/2 times the reciprocal, which is 1/5. What does that give me? Negative 1/10. Okay, so when I do this part right here, negative 1/2 x divided by 5, I end up with negative 1/10 x. Okay, that's negative 1/2 times the reciprocal of 5, which is 1/5. So I get negative 1/10 x. Now I need to do my second term, which is a positive 5 divided by a positive 5, which gives me plus 1. So that would be my equation in slope-intercept form. That's all for tonight. I'll see you guys later.